Hello, my name is Mrs. Chalmers. Welcome to our numeracy strategy of the day. Here in Inverclyde, we use various strategies to help us calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We use these strategies from primary 3 to primary 7 and beyond. Being able to add, subtract, multiply and divide in different ways is a really useful skill to have. Today, we will focus on the process of multiplication, and the strategy we will use is the area model. Our learning intention today is to use pictorial representations and abstract thinking to solve multiplication tasks. Abstract thinking is just number sense. It's about knowing how numbers are made. Our success criteria is to show, draw and describe how to solve a multiplication problem using the area model strategy, and then to apply this strategy to similar problems. Have you got your pencil and paper ready? If you need to pause the video to organise this, you can do that just now. When you first started to learn about multiplying, you would have used counters to build up arrays to show the sum and then draw the array's picture by yourself. But now we are working with bigger numbers and it would take too long to draw arrays. We need to find another strategy to help us, and that's where the area model comes in. Here is our first example, 14 times 7. Pause the video, work out how you would do it, and then come back to check. There are lots of different strategies we could use to find the answer to this sum. We need to see which one works best for us, or decide on which strategy is the most efficient. That is, which strategy helps us come to the answer more easily. Of course, today we are thinking about the area model, so let's have a look at that. We know that drawing an array wouldn't be very efficient, so let's look at the problem, 14 times 7. It really means 14 rows of 7, or 7 rows of 14. So I'm going to draw a box to help me think about that. 14 times 7 is 10 rows of 7 and another 4 rows of 7. Can you see I've drawn a box to show the 10 and the 4? And I'm multiplying by 7. I've partitioned my number 14 into 10 and 4 to make it slightly easier for me to do. And I can jot down my answer inside the box. 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 4 is 28. And we would add those two numbers together inside the box to give us our answer of 98. Have you used the area model before? Did you use an empty number line? Let's have some more tries of using the area model to see if it's a useful tool for you. Let's try another one. 37 times 5. Pause the video here. Try out the area model and come back to see how I did it. Did you start by drawing a rectangle and partition it into two smaller rectangles, one for the tens and one for the ones? We know that 37 times 5 is 37 rows of 5, or 5 rows of 37. So we've partitioned 37 times 5 into 30 and 7, and we're multiplying by 5. Now we're ready to multiply each of those digits. 5 times 30 is 150, and we put that answer inside the area model. 5 times 7 is 35, and now we work out what 150 plus 35 is, because that will give us the answer to 37 times 5. 37 times 5 is 185. Are you getting the hang of it yet? Here's a trickier one for you to try. Remember, drawing an array wouldn't be efficient, so we're going to use the area model to help us. This time, the clue is to partition your rectangle into hundreds, tens and ones. Have a go at that just now and come back and we'll check our answers. (218) times 3 means 218 rows of 3 or 3 rows of 218. So we're going to partition our 218 to make it easier into 200 rows of 3, 10 rows of 3 and another 8 rows of 3. Can you see how we have 218 split up into our hundreds, tens and ones? Is that how you partitioned your number? At the side, we know we're multiplying by 3, so we would put the 3 at the side. Now we're ready to multiply each of our partition numbers. 3 times 200 is 600, 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 8 is 24. 600 plus 30 plus 24 is 654. I find this a really useful strategy when I'm dealing with bigger numbers. I hope you do too. Maybe you have been learning how to multiply two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. We can use the area model to show the multiplication of two digits by two digits. We just need to remember how to partition our numbers, and the area model will help us. We know that 63 is made from 60 and 3, and we know we're going to multiply by 26. Let's partition that too into 20 and 6. I'm going to draw 2 more boxes where I can record my answer. Now I'm ready to multiply each of the different numbers. 20 times 60 is 1,200. 20 times 3 is 60. 6 times 60 is 360. And 6 times 3 is 18. All that's left to do now is to add up all of those numbers. 1,200 plus 360 is 1,560. Add on another 60 is 1,620, and then add on another 18, 1,638. Why not try out some of the bigger sums if that's what you've been working on using this area model? It really does help. It's now your turn to try out some multiplication problems using the area model strategy. Start at the first column, but remember, if it's too easy, move on to the next column. You may want to try out some double digits times double digits, or hundreds, tens and ones times double digits. Pause the video while you complete the task. When you have finished, don't forget to share your work with your teacher. When you have finished, come back to the video, as there is another activity and a link to an online game where you will be able to practice multiplication. This activity is called Find It First. It can be a really active activity if you want it to be. You have to write the answers to the facts that you're studying, maybe on pieces of paper or even with chalk on the ground. If I was going to study the 3 times table, I would make out some cards, for example, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I might throw in an extra few facts as well, just to make things tricky. Spread out your numbers in a random order. It's good if you've got someone else to play it with. The 2 players stand far away from the numbers that have been spread out, and someone calls out a number fact, for example, 4 times 8. And the first person to find the answer and jump on it scores a point. If you're just using paper and working at your table, it could be the first person to splat it with a spatula. It's a really fun activity to do. Here is a link to a website with lots of different multiplication games. It's a great way to brush up on your multiplication skills and recall those times tables facts. I know I really like playing some of them. I wonder which one you'll like the best. Have fun!